Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the BCSN Sports Wrap. My name is Brian Fulford, and joining us today for our very special, what we're calling the HBCU Fantasy Men's Basketball Tournament. That's right. We have taken the best HBCU basketball teams of the 2020 season, the 2019-2020 season. And because we're quarantined just like you who are watching this, hopefully you're quarantined and washing your hands and doing all that great stuff. We have found a lot of time on our hands, and we said, you know what? We're without basketball, and this would be a great opportunity. What if all of the top HBCU teams were put together in a tournament and given an opportunity to play? And you know what? By gosh, that's what we've done. We put them all together, and joining me and joining us on this show, this Sports Wrap show, of course, you see AD Drew right there. AD, say what's up to the people who are watching.
What's up, people who are watching?
And also joining us, part of our selection committee, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Doc, how we doing?
I'm doing really well. Good to be with y'all.
All right. And, Doc's coming in, providing us that when AD and I have been spending our many a nights bouncing names and teams off the wall, we brought in Doc to give us that sound logic and, helped us out tremendously in this process. And, of course, give a shout out to our producer extraordinaire, Roy Evans, who, the magic of what you see right now is a big credit to him. So, again, just to let you all know, okay, we understand that in a real world scenario, when we're free, no quarantine in our life, we understand that our HBCU basketball teams are playing in three divisions: Division I, Division II, and NAIA. Many of these teams did not get an opportunity to play in their tournaments. Many of them didn't even get a chance to finish their conference tournaments. So what better way we could think of is to, put them all together. Let's try to come up with a formula for seeding them, ranking them, and then let's find some places where they might fictitiously play. Let's find some cool region names, and let's make a tournament out of this, and that's what we've done. So we hope that you will follow along with this presentation. And what's also important to note here is that we're not doing any simulations here. We didn't run 50,000 simulated games between different teams.
I tried to get them to do that.
Doc tried to get us to do it. I didn't have enough computer bandwidth, didn't have enough memory on the computer, and I wasn't going to play I wasn't going to play the video game 50,000 times either.
Gotta find some kids, Brian.
I know we didn't have enough kids to play these fantasy games, so we're leaving it in. This might be even more dangerous here. We're leaving it in the hands of you, the fans. We're leaving it up to you, the fans, to actually decide which teams are going to be a part of this advancing, from the first round to the second round, and so on and so forth.
Can I say something about that, Brian?
Sure, yeah.
I just hope this is not like that bracket on the Big Boy Network where they try to find the greatest college tournament basketball player of all time. How does Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a.k.a. Lou Alcindor, not make it out of the first round?
Well, yeah.
I just hope this bracket comes out a little bit better. I hope this comes out better than that.
We'll get a chance for those fans to tell us who really has the fan base.
That's what this is going to show. Who's got a strong fan base. So as this goes along, we're hoping that players and even the actual teams decide to have a little fun with this as well, and we'll promote this out and share it with their fans and say, hey, let's make sure we don't get beat by an 8 seed in the fan voting. I'm not sure how we can explain that to some bloggers if somehow their team got beat by an 8 seed. I don't know how that would, and we also want it to be legit. So don't pick against somebody. Pick for the best team. Let's be real. Let's try to have fun, but let's be as sane about this as possible.
So you're telling Alabama State not to pick against A&M just because it's A&M if they're in the bracket, or vice versa?
We'll have to see whether both of those teams are in. And,
I said if they're in the bracket.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm not going to name any fan base or any bloggers out there. Remember, this is fantasy. So this is not real. You know, anything that you see is all fictitious and thing. We're just trying to have a little fun. We're all in a quarantine environment in our homes. But one thing that we did try to do, okay, we did try to, because it's very hard. Look, when we have, you know, 3 different divisions, it's very hard to try to put all of these teams on the same page. But fortunately, what we did do is we went over to MasseyRatings.com and we used their Massey ratings for every team. And that's how we went through and we ranked 1 to 32 in this tournament. So from 1 to 32, we took the Massey ratings and we tried to give everybody a rating or at least a place based on that. And the second thing we did is we tried to, and I think what's interesting, guys, is most of the teams in this are either right at 500 or above 500 in their overall record. So that's another good thing that I think we could say in this fantasy tournament, that we don't have anybody in the tournament who was like, 8-20, and then somehow somehow an 8-20, somehow an 8-20 team can go on and win their conference tournament and get into NCAA. That doesn't happen in the BCSN fantasy tournament. No, sir. No, sir. We don't have anything going on like that. And if that happens, that's because you, the fans, made that happen. It's not on us. It's you and your voting that could possibly create some crazy scenarios like that. So we did the rankings via the Massey ratings, and that's how we came up with our 32 teams. So we have 4 regions of 8, and we have 4 very unique locations that they would play. And then we have a Final Four, and we got a nice location that these teams would play. So, one day when all of our HBCUs break away from the NCAA, we've laid out a model for making this thing happen. I'm just saying, some 20, 30 years from now, the model was here. You saw it right here first.
All here first.
Right. Got it here first. So, we'll see if we can get a little credit for it. So with that said, gentlemen, are you ready to go through and reveal the 4 number 1 seeds in our tournament?
Yes, I'm very excited.